Welcome back, everybody, to WWTA News. Thank you for returning again for another episode. Before we get started, as usual, if you have not already hit the like button, please take this moment to hit that button so more people have the opportunity to see this video as well. Now, also, if you have any family, friends, or loved ones you think could use any of this information, feel free to share the link to them as well. So those are the pleasantries. We got all that out the way. Now, let's talk about some of these wonderful news articles that are happening in the digital currency or digital asset or digital cash space. So let's jump right in. We've got an article coming out of Bloomberg. It says, the most curious nation about crypto is Nigeria, a study shows. That's right. Over in Africa, they're all about that crypto or digital currency or digital money life. Here, I just wanted to show the chart. They're basically with this chart letting us know who's most interested in the digital space. And you can see here, Nigeria's at the top. We've got UAE, Singapore, Australia, United Kingdom, but you all are more than likely interested in where the United States is sitting, and they're towards the bottom. The United States does not seem to be showing that much interest in the digital money or digital currency space. So I wanted to show you this particularly so we can get an understanding of what's happening. So currently the talk of the town is, there's all these exchanges being attacked essentially by governments. Legislation doesn't seem to be doing the right thing. You've got all these people hacking people's accounts. And so in the United States, here greed is one of those major things in the United States. And so what happens is where you see an entrance to quote unquote make money fast or get money the easy way, here in the United States, most people tend to take that opportunity. But because they tend to take that opportunity, they usually get scammed out of their funds. And so that is deterring to other people in the United States that might be thinking about getting into the space. So what does that mean? So your friends say, well, didn't you get hacked and lose your money? Didn't you lose like X amount of dollars in doing that stuff? It's all a scam anyway. So when those stories exist, it kind of makes it less relevant to people that could have possibly gotten into the space. Now, that's still good from my point of view, because it allows me the ability to, while these digital currencies, digital monies, digital cash, whatever you choose to call it, is still accessible and affordable, I can then trade in my actual bank notes, dollar notes, whatever you want to call them, these reserve notes, for these actual digital currencies. And again, based on what the use is going to be is how you want to be maneuvering in this space. And most people don't take the time to figure that stuff out. So here, while we see the United States so low in the list, is, and my under my thought process, it would be greed. Greed scares people. They get in there with that greed and they lose money, and then they've got these ugly stories that have to be told, and then they end up on web pages as news stories, and then it just scares more people out of the space. So just wanted to share that. Now we've got another article revolving around Dogecoin. So this one says, Dogecoin has more potential applications than Cardano, says Mark Cuban. Interesting, Mr. Cuban. I still think, and I quote, I still think Doge has got more applications potentially available to it than Cardano. Cuban said, adding that he believes the opportunity for Cardano is greater, at least until Dogecoin also becomes a platform for applications. So, I mean, I take that and I say, look, Cardano has been doing a lot of work trying to be that strong second leg for Ethereum. Ethereum prices for transactions used to be just crazy high, dumb high, and they've dropped a lot. So Cardano's still working to be that bridge or whatever, I guess you'd say, that can get those transactions at dirt cheap prices, so people will then be on board and off board and on that. So yeah, have they really gotten it done yet? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Dogecoin, even though I'm rocking with it. You can, it's for some reason Dogecoin is slow. I don't know what happened to it. I want to say maybe 2 years back, 2 years back, Dogecoin was a fast transaction. Somewhere in 2021, like it just got really slow, and even still today, here we are in 2022. When I move Dogecoin, it's really slow. It can take 30, 45 minutes for that transaction. It's like, yeah, who really wants to deal with that long transaction speed? And it's no different than Ethereum. Ethereum is a long transaction speed as well. 30, 45 minutes. No different than Bitcoin. That's why I'm not a Bitcoin fan either. I know everybody says Satoshi, but if the transaction speed is just excessively long, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I can still do these transactions. At least I don't have to wait till the weekend's over. Right, but there are so many other digital currencies or networks that are instantaneous, and I'll just share a few just so you all get an understanding. We've got XRP. We've got XDC. We've got XLM. We have Algorand. We have Ren. What else? And I'm just things that I've used and moved around. VeChain. What else? Digibyte was pretty fast. That was a pretty fast one too. So there is a good amount of actual networks out there that are fast transactions. So I just don't understand. Cardano is, yes, trying to make that Ethereum situation a lot faster, but is it really going to happen? I don't know. We have to wait and see what's going on with that. But yeah, Dogecoin, not a fan of that either, but I do hold it. Just it isn't as fast as it used to be. But let's continue. All right, so we've got another important article here. This one is about Brazil. It states, new Brazil bill wants to tokenize mined gold on the blockchain. Important story here. This is an important story. I'm gonna read through all of it, but you've got to see why this is an important story. They're trying to tokenize their gold. All right. Now we've heard this before. We'll get to that, but we're going to start moving to this article so you all get an understanding of what's really happening here. It says Brazil's federal deputy Oania Wapichana has proposed a bill to tokenize gold mined in the country via blockchain technology. According to Wapichana, the country should be able to account for gold mining activities within its territory. The bill introduces new legislation targeting transactions involving precious metals and their transportation. The bill would also help to combat illegal mining activities within the country. The lawmaker pointed out that around half of the country's gold is mined illegally. She added that the illegal mining activities had worsened the environmental impact of mining. Wapichana stated that she believes using blockchain technology would help the country keep track of the industry. According to her, the National Mining Agency can implement a single digital system with secure records using blockchain technologies to consolidate all data and processes of mineral operations with the additional electronic records and documentation on transactions and sales. While the bill would be a novel application of blockchain technology in Brazil, it's not the first time that a country has considered the idea of using blockchain technology to track its natural resources. That's right. Now we're getting to the good part. We already know what was going on previous, so this is just more confirmation that this is where the world, quote unquote, is going. So it says the Central African Republic recently revealed that it's considering tokenizing its natural resources. The pro-Bitcoin country intends to tokenize the resources to enable more people to access it. They had actually said, if you're going to come with an article we saw before, Songo coin, if you come to them for minerals, goods, and stuff like that, you're going to need to pay them in Songo coin. So boom, there's that. Let's continue. It says Colombia integrated a digital land registry built bin Ripple's XRP ledger into its national land registry. The blockchain solution will help the country solve its land issues. So, I mean, I called out earlier some of these faster networks and assets or networks that you can use, XRP being one of them. Well, here you can see Colombia is using XRP to do their thing, right? So, but what does all this mean? So what this means is, as we were looking at that chart and we saw Nigeria at the top of the list, right? And then we saw United States towards the bottom. What you're looking at is the fact that other countries are taking the blockchain technology extremely serious. This is the part where hegemony begins to end. Well, it's already began. It's ending. It's dying, right? So the United States is losing its grip. It's been lost its grip, actually. So I guess we'd say other countries are going to become financially dominant. You know, we've had discussion before where, United States, Europe, and other, I hate to say it, but I'm going to call it as it is, other colonized countries, they use a debt system for finance, right? And so that debt system is what actually destroyed the value of currency in all these nations. It's all just loans and borrowing and loan and borrow. You know what I'm saying? So that circle has been going around and it's just destroyed all these countries financially, right? No country can trust another country. So how do we resolve that? So now I believe we heard Obama say this when he was in office. He said, nations would have their own currency based on their goods and services, right? So what are you looking at right now? Pause. Don't give me the crazy look. I know you're looking crazy right now. When did Obama say that? Obama said that a few times when he was talking about nations beginning to basically return to themselves and come away from that dollar. So if you missed that story, I can't help you. You need to go back in the past and start looking at a lot of these speeches and things that Obama did when he was talking to the public and everything else. He said a lot of these things. It probably just got missed because it wasn't important. But nonetheless, the point was that nations would use their own goods and services to get the value of their own currencies in their countries, so they would be able to stand independently without having to take loans, because everybody's just loaning everything around and debt's just increasing, and all this debt and loaning is based on the US dollar. And of course, sanctions have really brought that to a close. So keep all that in mind. That's what you're really looking at right now. It's not a big deal. It's totally necessary. It's totally, you want other nations to be able to stand independently on their own. You don't want people to have to rely on you for everything, right? You don't want people to say, hell, we have to have that dollar in order for us to do any business. We have to go through them in order for us to be able to do anything, right? You want people to be independent, right? We have kids, and the first thing we want them to do is grow up, become independent, get out on their own, work their own jobs, get their own homes, get their own families, their independent structure, right? So that's essentially what we're looking at right now when we understand what's happening with the blockchain network and these tools and technology that is being built right before our eyes, if we're paying attention. All right, so this next article says, Tornado Cash developer arrest sparks fears of global crypto enforcement. They shouldn't let this put the scare in them. They should be looking at the actual stories that exist that state that all these other nations across this quote unquote world are actually moving into this technology, and they're going to need, this is conspiracy theory, but I'm going to say it, a one world system. Well, how is that? Blockchain technology. It's a one world system. Okay. The whole world can use the blockchain system, and it's all information is no longer hidden. You can't hide blockchain information. Every transaction is done, it's online. If you do a transaction with cryptocurrency, digital cash, and you do it from your wallet or anywhere else, once you do that transaction, you can literally follow that transaction, and you can see when it goes through, when it doesn't go through. So anybody can pull up any transaction and see. This is where people say, you see those articles, whale moves massive amount of currency, yada yada. That's because all that stuff is seen. You can't hide it. So now there's no hiding financial transactions, right? So just think about this, and I'll play the devil's advocate on this one. Illegal gun smuggling, trading, right? sex trafficking, organ trafficking, right? And we're just talking about the more nefarious activities, right? Trade secrets, weapons, all these different things, right? So once all that stuff has to be done with a digital currency, then you can't hide that transaction. So now you have to move in a secret black world where you have to use dollars, right? Or paper money. Now here's the end result. I believe that it's going to really come. They're going to get rid of that. They're going to get rid of this old system so that they can therefore know what's happening at all times. If nobody's going to accept that money because they have no one to trade it off for, who's going to want it? And I'll help you out this way. The dollar's going down the toilet. It's inevitable. It's ready. It's going down the toilet. So just imagine this. Imagine, let's say 2 years from now, dollars are not accepted in stores for payment. All right, just imagine this. So you're walking into a Walmart. I know, right? Everybody talks about Walmart, but that's the main stores, right? So just imagine you're walking into a Walmart and you go into Walmart and you go pick up the few goods you want, right? But they don't accept dollars there. And you say, well, okay, well, can I pay with my credit card or debit card? And they say, well, as long as it's not dollars, sure. So then there's a list of credit card providers that are connected to blockchain technologies, right? So if you don't have, through that credit card company, for instance, or that bank, you don't have digital currencies sitting in that place, that wallet that they keep track of, then you still can't purchase anything, right? So if you have, and no bank's going to be holding dollars, they're going to get rid of that. This is my personal opinion. It's just a matter of time. Banks are going to stop holding dollars. They have no value. It's paper. It's bonds. It's just records of debt. Has no value. So banks are already charging you to hold your money, right? Essentially, they're charging you fees essentially to hold that money. Savings accounts don't pay anything, right? They're the worst things ever. Nobody wants to be holding paper money. Think about all the clips and memes you've seen. People try to go into a bank and withdraw money. I want to withdraw $100,000, $500,000. And they're like, okay, well, that's going to take some time for us to do that because we have to actually order that. Order what? That paper. You've got to order that paper money so I can get it. Well, yeah, right. You got to order paper money so then they can then give it to you. That tells you that the banks aren't holding much paper money. It's phasing out. They phased out the coins. They started reducing the coins in the marketplace, right? So all that stuff is phasing out. They're going to flip the switch one night, and it's not going to. They're going to give you heads up. They're giving you heads up now. I'm just telling you to prepare yourself. They're letting you know that, hey, it's on the way. All right, you've already got point of sales machines that are set up and ready and programmed to accept digital cash, digital currency. It's just a matter of time. I can't place the time and date. I don't know, but it's just a matter of time. So, yeah, let's continue. So this article says the Dutch Belastingdienst's arrest of Alexei Pertsev this past week drew particular ire from this group, though the details of the agency's charges against Pertsev are limited. That action seems to be a major escalation in global enforcement against decentralized protocols, specifically a move by government agencies to find criminality in a programmer producing code. Why is that important? They're moving us into the digital currency, digital cash space. And digital means code. So they're trying to catch all the criminals committing these digital code crimes, right? You're worried about police in the street, right? Oh, I'm worried about IRS, right? You worry about the feds. You better check this new crime out. The new crime is robbing people left and right through digital code. Okay, so that's the space we're moving into, and so it's important that they're locking these jokers up and making it known to the world. So, look, that's all I've got. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and please return for the next episode. Share the video, hit that like button, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.